Hello everybody, welcome to a game of Our Darker Purpose. I'm going to try and do a full run with actually speaking to you, because I can do many. I can get all the way whoop, up and such without talking. It's when you start talking that things happen. So, let's do this. I'm going to stop every video after every major boss. What I mean by major is after the fortress, after Reagan, and then that's pretty much, and then after the end, if we happen to get there. I don't estimate us getting there in less than an hour, as per the requirement for the achievement. But I do think that we'll get there at least in good time. We'll make some good time. An hour 30 was how long it took for me to do it the first time through. Or more importantly, hour 29 and some odd. So this is normal mode, by the way. You can probably tell from the levels how slow they're moving. Ugh. I need more class periods to do well in hard mode, since hard mode itself costs 4 class periods to activate, which I wish it didn't. I wish there was just a activation for hard mode, but I suppose having 4 class periods taken away from you is technically also hard mode. Alright, so far we've got the trap stem rose, a turtle, and a album for some extra experience. Let's hope we can get some good items coming up here. Or not items, but perks. Although I wouldn't mind some items. I need some shot spread items. I really do. Let's see if we can afford an item of some sort. Oh good, trash cans. Trash cans are awesome for experience. Sad chalking of chalk, I'd love to get. Maybe. I don't know. Sad chalk? No, I'd like to get the shoddy coin. The shoddily drawn coin. Because since everybody drops coins, that'd be great. Chalk is only good if I have a multitude of chalk that I'm trying not to use. Alright, let's see. I might as well use this now. Nothing against that. No draughts. We'll get a level up after whoever's here. And away we go. Obsolete operator. Alright. Hopefully in a few or in the next floor I'm hoping to get some damage perks and some crit perks. Or crit items. Damage perks, crit items. Three trash cans, huh? Not so bad. Over. Alright, let's get up here now. We're gonna go to the too big. Oh, this is an awkward choice. I'm going to take the Katamani Choco because chalk is always good. So anyway, I've been kind of in a rut lately on what to do with these runs. Like, whether to do it a certain way or like, you know, whether to do it a certain way, how to change things up. It's not the simplest thing to try and figure out. The one thing I think that makes it a little harder than say doing different multiple runs of the Binding of Isaac in like different ways, like the challenge runs and everything like that, is that it's not that there are not many ways to beat the game. And by that I mean there are certain things you need to get no matter what. It seems like there are a few staples of the game that must be had. A few staple items or a few staple perk books. You know? And like I don't think that anyone has or could beat the game if they never got a damage up throughout the whole thing. Which 14 levels of no damage up, yeah, that's kind of that's just bad luck right there, you know? I mean, really bad luck. But not impossible. You could get all the way to the Capulets at least without damage upgrades. Or to the Gifted without damage upgrades, probably. And it would suck trying to deal with some of the more increased HP guys that they have on those floors. But yeah, basically I think there's a staple. There must be a staple group of things for everyone's run, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong, like if you've tried doing it with different items and gotten the same place. You know, I'm sure that there's a ton of people who've been able to, like, I can do it with either this or this, you know? But I guess it's the tier of items and the tier of perks are skewed a certain direction. That's why, I mean, I don't think I'll ever have a playthrough that, if I find it, I will pass off anything that gives me a critical increase. Or a damage up. Oh, shit. Well, since I'm not going to get the item, I might as well kill the slimes for the experience. And I'll get out of here. But anyway, like I said, it's like there's a hierarchy, right? That's in every game. So I can't fault them for having a hierarchy. There are some items you want, some you don't. I don't know why, still. I mean, is there any point to getting Nevermore's Inkwell? I think it only... Does it increase your damage but lowers your light radius? I'm trying to remember. I remember it cuts your light radius down. And that's all I remember of it saying. I'd have to look at it again. But every time I see it, all I know is, oh, my light radius goes down. Which in some places, that would be very deadly. Like even the library, right? Especially a library, I guess, because don't they already put your light radius to 40? I mean, heck, Cordy would have like no light radius around yourself. You'd have to rely on the attacks of enemies to guide your way. On the terrace, it never bugged me that much. The light radius on a terrace is minimal. It's the last thing you really worry about. So, odd thing that I've noticed it when I get shot items, so I'm just gonna point it out. Cordy is right-handed. Or right aiming, I guess. You saw it right there when you fire with her fireballs. The second shot goes down if you're facing to the right or attacking to the right, and up if you're attacking to the left. Much like how some Harmless Markings throws their chalk. You ever notice that you can sometimes shoot through the cauldrons and sometimes not? I could have sworn like sometimes I'll hit the cauldron and sometimes I'll hit something else. Oop. Alright, let's see what's up here, down here, up here, and here. Since I've already gotten the achievement, I'll just focus on whoever the heck I can aim at, right? See what I mean though about hitting through the cauldron? I went right through the cauldron with that second sock puppet shot. There we go. Now it's the cauldron's turn. And be gone. Whee! Next floor. Underlits or sensitive? I'll go to the sensitive. I know I should probably really try to avoid sensitive more often, but oh god, don't do this to me right now. Go away, cursor. I should try to avoid sensitive more often because it causes much more pain to me. But it's kind of a speedy thing. And I'll admit that the only thing that I'm really trying to speed through on sensitive floors. That's weird to see it down here. I'll try and use it though. Okay, so it's wherever I was is where they fire. Okay. Like right there. Okay, maybe it's not. Is the bosses. Let's face it. Sensitive floors are for beating bosses really fast because they have more hit points than you have your damage up. Ooh, Cat's Cradle. That will help. 100 years of orphan food or the unbearable interest of being. I'm only doing that because if I ever get coins and punishment, it's going to be insane. I sometimes wonder how many lessons there actually are. So how many do we have to choose from, right? I already know that the max level of the game is 14. And by max level I mean it's the level where the next level up is 999,000, or not 900, but 99,999 experience. You saw it back in his natural defenses video, I believe, where I reached level 14. Thanks to a bunch of cookies and everything else. But yeah. So I don't know if I'd ever... I have to find... There have to be a certain amount of lessons, right? Also, I like how the environment takes on the properties of my shots. Like Cat's Cradle and whatnot. It's like, man, even the environment hates you guys. You might have noticed my lack of use of the emblem. I'll probably go and trade it back anyway, but I don't like it. And I know maybe that's one of the things I'm talking about. It's like the emblem, it's a great idea, right? Look at that. Call for avian assistance, right? Okay, for one, it didn't do much damage, but let's ignore that for a second. And start focusing on something else about it. It's not very reliable to aim, and it takes 16 seconds to cool down. Maybe if something was chasing me, maybe it'd be better. Who knows? Maybe. But it's just not reliable enough for me to take seriously. Okay, this one I'll try. I'll try to get to the end of this one. The new mazes they've cooked up are really mean. I mean, you could see the way to go in the first one's good, the Schooner. I'll take that over the emblem. You could see the way to go through the mazes last time. Now with the new mazes they've updated, yeah, it's kind of harder. I'm not arguing about it. I'm saying that that's great. In the sense that, oh shit, now you actually have to try and get to the end. You can't get there in like under X number of seconds because, you know, you've memorized the layout. Maybe someday he'll memorize the layout. But maybe they'll just make more layouts and you'll have to memorize those too, right? I know what I'm trying to say, I'm just not saying it very well. Sudsy? Ah, Frozen Few. I like the fact I hit the Frozen Few before it was ready to be hit. Anyway. Where's that other shot? The Frozen Few is kind of weird. It only shoots out 2 things at first, and then it'll shoot out a third one when it's down to really low hit points. Hard mode Frozen Few, every time, or every like X number of seconds, something will pop up on the screen, some red text, which basically is telling you that, oh my god, it's really cold in here. Also, everything's blue tinted. And what that is the Frozen Few is freezing you and lowering your move speed by 10. It's pretty interesting, actually. Now to the Woundwort Dorms. Hello, Woundwort Dorms. Thank goodness for Archivisi. I know I haven't gotten a damage up. It's a good thing the sock puppet's here because I need that extra shot to act as my damage up. Fedora, huh? I'm not really keen on the Fedora. Yeah, I know which way you went, Archivist. I saw you last time. Alright, let's chase the Archivist. He'll probably lead us to the boss. know. I stood on your shoulders. I'm a bad person for it. Oh, thank you. No more cabinets. Perk of a ranged wallflower. Stop. Shot angle and attack speed. Usually I don't like the Trust Walk blindfold. Well, sometimes I don't. With a single shot, it is kind of weird. With double shots, it increases its ability to be used. Okay, so he didn't go down. I saw that wrong. Oh, I could have sworn he threw it straight first. He turned it around on me, huh? Alright, so I could really use an Escher's Compass because it offshoots, or it lessens the harshness of my angled shots. An Escher's Compass makes it bounce at least, instead of just pop. Still hate hands. Okay, the Archivist did go this way. Well, you know, it's just a room. I think he went up. But at least we got time to check. Nope. To the right. Good. On Confusion. Save 80 tokens in a single playthrough. Yep. Did that when I had like over 100 of them. Huh. Okay, so that's the one about the paper floors. The paper rooms that appear in hard mode. I'll tell you what, on Confusion, yeah, I was pretty confused the first time that I found a paper room. It's always the same kind, really, too. I keep finding ones with a bunch of musically inclined gifted. I don't care, go through them. What do we got? Ooh, a Bunsen burner. Alright, this is looking on up. We got the damage up, now we got a Bunsen burner. We're missing crits. And we'll be fine. So anyway. But really, what are some items that you, yourself, in-game, cannot live without? Like, literally cannot live through the game without. Whether it be a sock puppet, a treaty, a schooner, a discipline rod. Although the rod of discipline comes so way later, I'm sure you can live without it. It's such a long-waiting item. You know? I think you can't even have a rod of discipline drop until, by the way, this room got a lot more claustrophobic lately, huh? Good schooner, light him on fire. Damn it. Anyway, as I was saying, what can't you live without? The Bunsen burner? Bunsen burner is pretty damn good. Have you ever beaten a run without the Bunsen burner? In all seriousness, I can live without Corey's goggles because they don't do anything. The 75% damage reduction while being confused. Okay? So now I know of more enemies that can confuse you in the game, at least. I know the Virtuoso can. I know the Musical Gifted can. And the Green Cloud Chalks. Okay? But this is it. That's the confusion. And I feel like those goggles were put in here like after a patch. I don't think they were an original item, but maybe they were. And I just didn't find it. You know? It happens. I didn't find a lot of items before they patched everything. You know? I know some people beat the game before they patched everything. So it's possible that maybe they've always had the goggles. Okay? But I don't see how useful they are. Every time I see them, in fact I probably should have bought them anyway, because now they're going to be on the next floor as a drop from a champion. But every time I see those goggles, I think to myself, well, that's a wasted item slot. Not that you have item slots, like I can't get full up on items, because there aren't enough places to get items at that I could in the game. But, I mean, a wasted roll on the random item table, I guess, is what I think it's a waste of. Anyway, I don't know. What are your opinion on the goggles? My opinion is, maybe if they did something like, maybe you could make it a little less. Like, you take 50% less while confused, also increases light radius by 10%. Or something like that. Something to make them a little more desirable, I guess? You know, if they really want to make something, they should make something that makes it so that you take less damage to, like, electrical attacks or something like that, because electricity from certain places, such as the sorcerer capulets and whatnot, seems to do more damage. You know what I mean. Anyway, Goneril's beaten. Complete the level. We end on floor 4. And that's the... And that's what we're doing. So, let's go ahead and end here, and we'll be going up to the Capulets next. I'll see you then.